Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. October 8th, 2022 was the first art show that I ever sold my art at. At the time, I was working with Bismuth pretty much exclusively, as you guys remember. I still remember the very first piece I sold. It was a bismuth pyramid weighing about zero point 0.8 pounds, and I got $20 for it. And at the time, I didn't even know how to anodize yet. It was poorly made, in fact, because I didn't even know to preheat the molds. And so you guys remember that it was all cracked and all that. I've since gotten better techniques for it now. And but what really amazed me was that I had bought a 10-pound bismuth bar. I think I paid about $90 for it, if I remember correctly. And I had sold a few items out of all the stuff that I made with that bar, and I had already gotten my $90 back, and I still had a lot of bismuth left over. And it was like, oh, thank you for helping me accumulate bismuth, right? That's how the sentiment of that art show went, and it encouraged me to keep going with it. I have since accumulated. You got to remember, when I bought the 10-pound bismuth bar, I bought before I even knew how to make art. I bought it with the same kind of idea that I would somebody buying a 2-ounce silver bar, right? As something to hold on to for the future, right? As a hedge or an investment or even speculation, right? Little did I know I could actually make. It was only after I acquired it did I read more into it that I realized I could make art. And here we are 2 years later. Now, a lot has changed in 2 years. I now make a significant part of my income off of art, right? Not just bismuth, but a few other metals, and also the paintings and the Mondrian Art Square, which I like a whole lot better because I can do that from anywhere, right? I don't need to set up a lot of gear. I could even take some of that stuff with me when I travel, right? So it has its uh, flexibility there. Now, one thing that I can definitely tell you has been different in the last 2 years is that now that I have a significant part of my income that I right, and I have this bad habit. I get very when I'm at a to respond. I'm waiting for my turn to speak, and then I completely miss what the other person is saying for the next couple of minutes that they're speaking, right? Because I'm so edgy. Did what the person just say imply that my job is at risk? And as a result, I completely shut down what the person is saying after those remarks. Now that I have some money and a part of my career that I own in my pocket, I find I don't do that as much anymore. I'm still weak, but I find a lot less so than I was 2 years ago. I can swear. I can swear. And then this past week, I was on yet another first date. And when things weren't going right during the conversation, when things could have sounded like it could have been bad, I wasn't so edgy anymore because oh my god, I got stuff to tend to if you're not gonna be with me, right? Having that edge in my pocket really makes these things flow so much better, and they make them go a lot better because I'm not sitting on the edge all the time, right? And I can attest to that. I really can. When I go to my when I go pick up my favorite foods and they're not available, I talked about this in times past. I'm not so edgy anymore. There's so many things that I love to be doing anyway, right? And next 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna take a day off work because there's a social event that I'd like. And I'm not so edgy about it. In fact, I'm not even gonna ask for it. I'm just gonna tell them that I have that day off, right? Or maybe not that, but you get the idea. The sentiment will feel that way, right? And I don't have to be edgy about it. I could actually perform, right? And plus, I guarantee you that I'm making a lot fewer mistakes at work today than I was 2 years ago, right? Because I feel like I'm in the driver's seat now, right? And it just goes to show how the difference. I used to curse 2 years ago. I was on the air a lot cursing about how toxic my job and my boss were at the tutoring center. The truth is that it might not have been all work's fault. Part of it was that I didn't have leverage, right? If I could take my current situation and go back to that job, not that I would want to, but if I could, I probably would complain a lot less now that I have room to maneuver. Oh, I'm taking this day off. Oh, if my boss is saying something about something at work, I can listen to it and I can rebut it, right? I don't get edgy as soon as he raises his voice. Oh my God, I gotta respond and then tune out what he says, right? I wouldn't do that anymore, right? Now that I don't have to worry so much about losing that job, right? I could actually listen. And a lot has changed in 2 years. Not to mention, I just feel a whole lot better now that I'm creating stuff, right? The feel goodness of that also benefits my day. Brought me an income in two different ways. Number one, the obvious way, right? I buy some material and I sell it for a higher cost. But also, being so busy with the art projects has kind of kept me out of going on vacation, having a social life, and all that. And can you give me a second, please?
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
I can hear you all the way back
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Keep it down.
Okay.
I don't mind if you
Okay.
keep
Okay.
it down.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
But the art projects have brought me an income in two different ways. Number one is the obvious way, right? Number two is that I've been so busy, I haven't taken a vacation, and my dating life has really suffered. And so I want to change. Can you let me finish this video,
Go
please?
outside then.
Okay.
You can go outside. You can talk as loud as you want outside.
Okay, I'm really disappointed you would interrupt my video. I was almost done.
Thank you, sir.
This guy right here. But anyway, so you see, these things don't bother me so much now that I have room and all that. But I realized that a big part of the income came from the fact that I was so busy, and I would love to change that because obviously I haven't had much of a life, and it was a real revelation when I noticed that. All right, I probably shouldn't have taken revenge on that guy, but you know what? I feel comfortable doing it now that I have This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.